So in XML, whatever we open, we close accordingly when we want to close and open. So my first level is my XSLT style sheet. Everything is inside this. So my XSLT style sheet is getting opened here and my XSLT style sheet is getting closed. At very last, my XSL output method was opened here, and then if I apply the slash in the same line, that means it was opened and closed. That's it. My variable opened. Still, I selected the name defined closed. Everything what's get open gets closed. My XSL template got open here to root directory. Then I applied the template match here, WD report data. My XSL template match got closed here. My XSL template, which was opened here, closed here. Then I have XSL template match WD report data. Now this template match is getting closed here because we are processing everything inside this template where we are asking the cursor to go inside WD report data. Now. So everything we are processing inside this template match. Then you have your for each here, so we go by it one by one. So now we are at the template match. We have defined the template and we have asked our cursor to come here at the WD report data. Since I want to deliver a CSV file, I have to define the headers for my CSV file, of course. So now, using this text function, XSL:text, I am defining my headers for my file. Depending on the data I have in my file, I am defining the headers. So I am defining the first header inside it, employee ID, and I want a pipe delimited file. So accordingly, my headers will also be delimited by the same delimiter, so employee ID delimiter. Legal name, my delimiter cost center. This is just your headers that you are defining and then you give. So these are just text headers. If this does not mean that it will only contain a legal name, this is just a header. I have given a legal name. If in the below I am processing cost center under the legal name, then under the cost legal name you will see the cost center value. This is just the name of the header I am asking and writing. So employee ID, my legal name defined separated by a pipe, then my cost center and then my hire date. This will define the sequence of my header, how it will come. And then I have opened the XSL text element. I am closing the XSL text element. This is how we close when we don't want to close at the same place. This is how you close. XSL text here inside the XL text. You have it here, and then you have it here and a forward slash with the closing. This means it was opened here and it was closed here now. This is my header. I have defined. Now after the header. As you know, I want the cursor to go to the next line, so that my rows can now be repeated and each and every row will be written under the header. So now to pass, go to the line feed. Now I'm the variable that I have declared here, the line feed. Name of the variable. So how can I call my variable once I declared it? So to call the variable, this is how you do it. XSL value of select function is equals to. So when I apply anything, when I prefix $ against my variable, that means now I am calling my variable here and whatever is value inside my variable will be applied here and whatever the logic it means it will do so. My line feed is going to provide a line feed character. So now I want to move the cursor to the next line. So this will move my cursor to the next line and I want it to after the header. So after the header, this will be processed. My cursor will come to the next line in the CSV file. Now, in the next line, what I want to do now. I want to write the rows of data for each and every employee. So in here, you will see the employees will be decided by number of report entries. That means how many worker counts are here. That will be decided by number of report entries. So the number of entries, report entries, could be anything. You don't have a count. Today there could be 5,000 workers, tomorrow could be 500 workers, day after it could be any. So you don't know. So that is why you want to loop on the WD report entry, and you want to keep looping and go to the next report entry until you are at the very last report entry, and there are no more report entries. So how do you do that? You will use a function called For-Each, which is XSL function for each. And in the For-Each, you are selecting the X path on which you want to apply the looping, so in here you will see the For-Each. We have given the path as WD report entry. So in the ideal world actually, the X path is complete X path. So if I want to say the X path of my report entry, WD report entry, is actually WD report data : WD report entry. This is my complete X path if I want to come here, but this is how your templates will play. So, if you see, we have used the function called template match and we have given the paths to the cursor already to WD report data, and now we are inside the template match. My for loop is inside my template match, so what does this mean? My cursor is already inside WD report data. So if I want anything inside, I'm processing under WD report data I can skip every time passing this WD report data as my path. I don't need to repeat it again. So, whatever the values after it, I can just pass those values and I don't. So that's why when I'm just defining the X path for my for each function, I'm only writing WD report entry, because I'm already inside WD report data through this template and my for each is inside this template. So I'm only giving WD report data as my path. So now the cursor will automatically jump onto WD report entry and inside my for each. You see, I have opened the for each here and closed it here. So inside my for each, I'm processing every value of the employee attribute that I want to process, because we want to process for each employee and every value attribute for each employee. So this is all happening inside my XSL for each. So, before ending my for each, after I have processed each and every value that I want to process, I'm again as soon as, and when my last element is processed. I'm again doing a line feed here, the same line feed which we did after the defining the headers. Because after first employee is processed and first employee's last value is processed, I want the cursor to go to the next line so that the next employee can be processed. And this I will do after the last value processed for the employee. So after doing all this thing, whatever is my last attribute after that, I'm going to again copy the same line and just apply this line feed function here so that it will consider as a line feed and go to the next line, and then it will go again up and see if there is another report entry left. So until the report entry. All the report entries are getting finished. This loop will keep on repeating, unless it comes to the very last report entry. Then there is no more report entry and the loop will come out. So for first employee it will come inside now.